thing for my wife, man, for my wives. Be careful of age, Shaylee, and Liv. These four chicks and certain Mushi chicks and other people that tried to degress the main astrological tree that wanted other people of zodiac science that try to demoralize and demineralize to devalue the social, economic, physical condition for demonic governing at the time because other people. Let me tell you something. You know, when people following the acknowledgement of democracy, I already provided my evidence. It was a high class, middle class, and lower class. Now they're saying there's Republican and democracy, so they're ready to expose the physical intricacies of the higher consciousness just to be able to manipulate and cause the deterioration of the social economic system. So be very careful when you're dealing with individuals that try to cause the Clash of the Titans or the Percy Jackson, the Las Vegas scene, where people be in Las Vegas for so long that they wonder what happened to him, and because other people are using the radio system, television system, their networks against them, and trying to cause civil wars because they're going after Social Security, post office, law enforcement, um, probably the conduct of nourishment. You know, they probably trying to find out other people's intricacies of interest, and it's just going after the natural regardment and natural habitation of the planets and Earths. And then as I'm saying this, you know, because I was watching the show in anatomy and these chicks that's already aggravating my physical reality that I was already reviewing in the conduct, I'm gonna show you their face in the television shows on sci-fi right now. Funny chicks. I'm gonna tell you what they did and stuff. What was going on there. Well, I'll wait till I'll just speak to you a little bit. It's a bunch of chicks that's causing the demoralizing of the empress. It's like you ever had people of demonic beings or zodiac beings of the lower science of the higher education, and then they're voting for an empress that already dishonored me, the honor, and the other empresses of the higher of their higher education, of their reason of existence, of their order, of their orientation at the time, and then they know they'll put away, so they shouldn't be dealt with in the paradigm of time. But somebody unraveled something a certain type of way, just like I told you about the pyramids in the last video. Somebody probably tried to unravel something in a certain type of way in existence, because I was already in existence before all these type of situations. So these energies that's coming out is just other individuals that probably did a form of magic to go against me, that caused some energy or some empress to go devalue the empresses of that natural habitation, because they want to conquest and be able to demoralize to get a physical answer. So it's caused a form of turmoil and torment of emotional stress, just to be able to be strenuous, just to get individuals to be a form of lucrative, so they can manipulate the physical reality and cause discomfort in an unsettling environment, so they could have an excuse to say there's disciplinary actions, but really what they're doing is just deteriorating the physical reality of the happiness and the times of love, because they want to cause the forms of the dark ages, and then they lead to certain empresses that dishonor their dignity, that already is going to go against the empress, and then and then another person, like, this is what you have to prevent to stop, so that it won't happen. And the reason of regardment, and the reason why I made regardment, because you'll have an empress that'll torture the other empresses in the spiritual realm, and then I have an individual in the forefront, like they'll vote and they'll fund an individual to be in the forefront, to go into, they probably physical battles, probably physical martial art battles, street fights, and all type of things. And then next thing you know, they'll fund them just to be able to cause traumatic trauma events to certain purity that doesn't want to give up their sacredcy. And then it's something like the mob, like when they went after they went after, Dr. Frankenstein. When they went after Dr. Frankenstein, just like when they went after me, like the Casey, when I didn't want to tell them certain things about certain things that was going on because they wanted to know what was going on, and I knew they heard certain things on the internet, like on future star beings hearing certain things, so they wanted to know like the demonic beings, and they were sending their little forefront because the questions that they asked in a certain type of way, and the way they were leading the physical reality after the conditioning, after the galactical war, and then individuals is trying to be receptive to get a point of acknowledgement because the things that they wanted to do because they wanted to indulge in the humane condition of sexual wrong conduct and not and disregard the reasons of their humane existence for a time being, thinking that they can handle situations at another time, and that caused the upsetting emotions and almost the end of all existence in the paradigm because they didn't realize the point of their education, and then they get with empresses or certain empresses in the spiritual realm that done try to demoralize empresses and they done disregarded their higher education of their reason of existence and broke their natural orientation of order of the natural humane condition of the higher intellect of the astrological trees, which they were stopped and to prevent it also in the paradigm of time to be able to disregard and get rid of it. This chick right here, see this one right here. See? And she's trying to say she had skill. I don't give a fuck what skill she had. Because there's a person that did the wrong in the first place. She's got both of them, matter of fact. They're saying, oh, you don't gotta regard, you don't have to, she said you don't have to regard me. I'm Ming East. How the fuck you gonna tell me you don't have to regard me? And I'm Ming East, and now look. Dark matter. That nigga looked like he was on a lot of cocaine and he just killed a real high point of acknowledgement and didn't even realize, didn't even care. Those are people probably went after Bin Laden, That fucked up Bin Laden's life, that framed Bin Laden. For real. He's probably there. Oh yeah, he ain't going to Louisiana yet? He ain't going to Louisiana. You ever seen the Louisiana commercial? The old guy that they trapped? And the nigga was the only one at the party. And then he started dancing at the party. He said, woo! He said, what? All the black people looked at him, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get that right now, boy. You either have sex, your shit don't work, either your shit is gonna stop there. I don't know what that is. And then I started using credit cards and it was like having my own financial coach. You see, trying to frame me as like having his own financial coach because they're trying to say they're gonna try to reverse it to demoralize the physical reality when I'm telling you to prevent it, to have regardment, to stop them demonic and the individuals with the low type of acknowledgement. And I'm showing you forms of example for one doesn't be deterred or depressed from these type of individuals and things that they try to cause in the physical reality, and they trying to say they're gonna flip it on me and say I ain't that fucking coach. I'm gonna tell you to get rid of them. I don't even want to view them on the fucking television. And then on top of it, then me speaking about Bin Laden, individuals gonna be like, why this nigga speak up? Because I'm the real Solomon, and then you went and did something to Bin Laden, and that was my real son. And the individual already at the time, he couldn't maintain because he had so much money. Individuals went after his finance. that there were, unsettled emotions from other individuals. Just like, you ever seen the Scorpion King with Memnon. Memnon, we only do this for the sorceress. A group of individuals that just want to get their balls deep, want to get balls deep in a certain type of chick, a certain type of way. For some reason, none of them know how to create that type of chemistry of the human condition to have that physical attribute of the physical reality. And the one man that does, they already just want to vote him out. Yo, you already did too much. You had one. We're gonna see how much we can sort out together one way, and then if we can't get it a certain type of way, then we don't worry about it. Another, the niggas is you got men that out there savages, man. Oh shit, you gotta get rid of those guys, man. Not me. Me, I'm alright, but I'm gonna say you gotta get rid of that. I would say that guys. But because it is a person that you want to throw a sack or a hat or look, just get the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? For real. But I can't say those guys because they shouldn't be protected at any level. Like I'll say those in a certain way, but I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get rid of them niggas over there. Side thrust, you know what I'm saying? So all type of ways, yo. Listen, you gotta be careful of them chicks that already demoralize the astrological empress, and notice how I spoke about it, and you see them fighting, and then they vote for a spirit that they know is like a tormenting spirit a certain type of way, especially from Egypt and other regions of Asia and China, a tormenting spirit that does dishonor their dignity, or the one that they already caused to be some type of whore in the paradigm that a person would have forgot, and then they feel that they want to rekindle the emotion because they have something a certain type of way, and then the rest of the individuals are so fucked up. So it's like the last whammy. Another person said you gave up on them situations and left us a certain type of way. We have this one little bad thing we're gonna give to you, and then we're gonna fuck up your privacy. As soon as we get in there in a humane condition, we're gonna ransack that situation because we know the ins and out of it, and we had it trapped up for mad long, and then learning her science of her physical reality, and then you're finished because you didn't want it back then, so you should finish it now because that. And individuals that know is about, they'll give you this one bad chick of a physical reality. Say, yo, I'm gonna give you something that was wonderful and nice, a certain type of way that you left a long time ago, because we already was hunting the situation because she was a boss and they didn't care, and then they studied her ins and outs to her astrological being, her humane condition, and then they finished her. They say, a man, they say, you're recovering, so you're not gonna remember what's going on a certain type of way. So we're giving you something really bad, a certain type of way, and as soon as you start being with it, we just finish your privacy and finish you, and we just ransack the situation a certain type of way, and then you just be finished, and we'll blame you for all type of things and say, then we knew more magic than you, we knew more science than you, we knew more logic than you, we studied your books, because they formatted my empress, they got me shot in the paradigm and boogie night. They're not supposed to say the words of honor for me to be at the realest high points of existence. I gotta wait for individuals because they're voting with the rest of the democracy that just want to expose individuals from high class, middle class, lower class. Now there's a democracy. Now you know about it. Oh, okay, wow. Now I gotta tell you about regardment. This is what you gotta look out for to prevent. You see what's happening now. You see the difference, right? So then another individual, even at a time, because even in the paradigm, the energy, the force of life, like, yo, these niggas didn't want to wake you up. They didn't want you to be high points of existence, even though you're still high point of existence. Yo, you gotta wake up. You just gotta do it naturally, homeboy. You really need help. Get up. Kind of just gotta just kick in, like, what? Me, get up. Whoa, man, here we go. You know what I'm saying? And the prevention, regardment. And then other individuals telling me, I'll give you, you didn't want to regard the empress, you forgot about her, so we're going to rekindle something, and then finish your privacy, and then next thing you know, it's like, no holds bars, and then we just fuck up your reality a certain type of way, because you might have people that's a little suicidal, they're just waiting for the last charade, their last bang, and probably want to really kill you. I got shot, so you think about how serious situations could be on a level. Another person thinks, you're the man, I have the man, I got children, but do you realize the social economic status of the physical reality of the human condition? I'm not even driving. You have people driving pickup trucks around me all day, and I'm not even driving. And I'm walking around in a place where you have to walk like a mile just to go to the store. Like, what kind of shit is that, right? Hey. the way they feel settled for their therapeutical emotions of what they're going to cause the failure of the human conditions of the physical reality. And you think about if I'm around international security, what type of security is that? Because I'm more important than the president and the reason of the president's education, so why am I walking around? You think about that, but the niggas getting drove in a limo, car, all type of things because it's voting population of individuals that funded, financed, and then cheated cheated the physical reality of individuals in the paradigm of time that caused tax evasion, tax fraud, international deficit that I solved already. And then on top of it, I'm still walking, and you have individuals that's driving that caused the international deficit. That doesn't make no sense. Like that is like the end of the world just for answers. This is like the Socrates situation with me all over again. That doesn't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? End of the paradigm. So it's like, it's just like, be careful of other people voting for some spiritual energy that's going to cause a depression and that wants to have the other empresses of the love that I have that is of a majority of a certain type of place, causing her anatomy to war because their brutality and their foulness doesn't care of their dirty politics and their dirty human condition, of their darker intentions and darker matter, of the easing influence that'll cause AIDS or cause the diminishing or demoralizing or disintegration of the human condition of the physical reality just for physical pleasure and physical false remorse because of other individuals' gluttony, greed, and foolishness, just like it led up to the. You ever watch the Clash of the Titans? The reason why the gods warred and almost killed each other because of the individuals that was the literal social population of their children of their wrong emotions, and because some of the gods that said they knew certain things didn't know how to form humane condition of their conduct of the physical reality because their mental emotions and capacity of the physical attribute of what they were doing in the physical reality. Just like my child is a star being goes and have sex using the astrological empress energy to hold the chick down just to have a form of sex and then filling up. And celestial beings also have only cellular activity and filling up the earth with cellular activity and causing the diminishing of the humane condition on a literal micro level that'll spread once they get into the atmosphere, and then when they filter in the human condition, it's such an overbearing population, not only on their planet, they gotta spread it out to another planet just because of the things that they already did was wrong, and then they just thinking that they're handpicking situations. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna sell this here, I'm gonna sell this here, and then they sell this situation all over the place, places not supposed to be, and then when they go to a place, they just and they realize they're not realizing that they're supposed to, but if they would realize I already got shot in the head of the consciousness, their mothers in this metaphysical realm regarding them for them not to get shot, but she can't do but so much because I'm not up the way I'm supposed to be up. So the strength of the anatomy of the high human condition of the mythology is not strengthened at a certain point the way it's supposed to be, and then they go somewhere because they've been selling their situation all over the place because another person influenced them that was already trapping them just to do that type of situation to head bust them, and then they end up walking around like a zombie, wondering, telling me some sob movie, some sob story. People, I'm watching the system, finding out things that they did, things that happened to them because of their foolish intent of following individuals of ignorance of a darker consciousness that was leading to darker physical reality that was a part of the galactical war that caused individuals to be physical and causing forms of restraint or restraint is okay, but forms of restraint that could have been traumatic or physical trauma to the physical being, even at a time of the Empress regardless, because they are part of a high enlightenment or the intensity of the inner atmosphere of the Empress that would have caused individuals. You ever see martial arts movies when individuals at a time? It's just like when you see me drooling or certain thing. I'm really throwing up blood, but you wouldn't realize it because it's the DNA. But another person like, they're throwing up blood, throwing up like, oh shit. And what the fuck is that about? Because the individuals actually, in the paradigm of time, remember, I'm in a system, and then on top of it, I'm working on higher galaxies, solar systems, and of other economics still forming and keeping together the paradigm of time for future existence. If I die, everything is gone. So another person needs me to even be watching the system to repair their anatomy in the same paradigm of time. And notice what I'm doing. I'm making documentaries, enlightening your higher consciousness for your physical reality so you could be okay to know what to prevent, to even repair one sensibility after I got what? I've been in a physical trauma that almost took away my consciousness, and I have to repair the physical anatomy to a person's alertness, to their keen sense, to their telekinetic being. And then you have stupid bitches that's just mad a man is so wonderful in life, knowing that the dishonor that caused the situation in the first place. And then you have people that's looking up the human condition that led up to the situation happen, that's in existence a certain type of way, and they know they're not gonna get certain attributes when a man ever not ever remember fully, so they're looking to take advantage of it, and then they want to cause other empresses to be tormented in the physical reality till the end of the world, the Sin City, because the fact is, I don't want to be with a marriage, and then they know I don't want to be with their situation, but that's what caused it because they're bossing and their ignorance, and then they vote for a situation that is more physical sufficient. And when it comes to martial arts or detrimental trauma, and that of course the devastation of the physical reality, because the fact is they just want to continue their influence that they caused in the first time, and they just not caring at the time. And then on top of it, it's like being fearful, like, yo, damn, the Most High is back, like, I can't be judged by this and all types of things, I don't want to lose it. Then they thinking about the finance and cheated people out of the conditions, other people, how they misguided people, and then the things that's happening, and then other people may have looked at them a certain type of way at the time because all the things that they did, and then next thing you know, they're looking at it like, oh my God, and then now then you have them, like I said, the guy that tried to manipulate, so we're going to say we had our own format and plan on how the guy did it, so we're going to do it like this, and then notice that probably they were being tactical, they're going after the networks. Probably other people need to be paying more attention to what's happening in the physical reality. And then on top of it, then I'm trying to repair the situation because to heal your anatomy, I have to have the system to repair the situation. But I don't want to repair certain individuals, so other people are being suicidal. And then if they think I don't remember certain astrological empresses or certain things a certain type of way, they try to use it to advantage. And then next, they'll try to blame a person because they just want to live for the moment. You don't want them to go have physical, sexual conduct with another person, ruining the astrological tree because another person just want to get to a point just to refine themselves, and then they don't want that because they don't want no type of savior for the world because they already probably even try to fuck up immaculate conception, and look what they did even in stories to show you even in the physical reality what they did to Jesus. And I was next to him on the cross, and then I was Socrates and Sir Lancelot, and then next this sounding, and then all type of situations. And then individuals just, trying to deter individuals, and then you have another empress that's mad at all the other empress because she knows she's some dirty whore bitch that just had a higher knowledge that they let loose for a second. Then she knows she's not even supposed to be in existence a certain type of way, probably some black jewel emperor, all type of situations that would cause the end of existence. And then on top of it, she's just trying to manipulate the reality because if she could wear out other empresses to have them in the same condition as her, thinking I'm going to have a remorse. I'm not going to have a remorse for a stupid bitch that already tried to kill other reasons of my love in the paradigm, and then this is the reason why certain things happen in the first place. No, that don't make no sense. The person has to see the prevention to cause to stop that type of situation. So be careful how they try to entrap certain empresses and the ways they try to demoralize them in the physical reality, so individuals can even have a form of regardment and a form of logic to see the sensibility or the etiquette of the education of their literal social economic habitation, to have a point of consciousness, to have a form of consideration for what's going on in physical reality, so they can know how to conduct themselves when it comes to their natural social economics of their own being. So you gotta be careful for a lot of these things, man. There's so much I can warn you about, but it's just like I can't tell you everything a certain type of way. That's like, it doesn't make no sense spoiling you when you're supposed to be able to have a form of can I say this? A form of literature of your own experience of the lessons of humanity, even when it comes to existence. So for one can know the reasons for one's achievements of the physical reality. So one will know how to be militant in when it comes to the natural attributes of their structure when to their being of their social economics. So humanity is wonderful, man. You gotta be educated and watch out for these tormented other souls and bad beings and empresses that other individuals vote for to torment other innocent empresses that just try to keep a form of a level of humility because they're naturally still connected to me in life. And on top of it, they don't want to get into a physical attribute with individuals because that's not gonna get nobody nowhere, and they just want to show individuals how the reasons for life a certain type of way so life will go in existence for the future, so they don't deter individuals and make the matters worse. When it comes to matter, sort of activity makes situations worse of the physical, for individuals to know the reasons why, honestly, to be considerate for their own conduct and know how to obstruct themselves even when it comes to the physical reality, when it comes to instruction. So it's just being real. And then you have other bitches that's fucked up empresses that doesn't care. That just want you to do the wrong thing because of what they want to do to another empress. Because the fact is they can't have the things in that they can't have the natural. They can't have the natural things that the empress have. That's of love, that has their harmony set in of unity, of amity and unity with an individual at a time, and they try to cause a discouraging, and it's just like how they tried to trap Aphrodite. I was just watching a commercial. This chick was running up the stairs, and her feet looked like a form of Tetris. Like she was already just trying to find out what Aphrodite knew. This is how the HA and Liv tried to kill Aphrodite. Also, they tried to find out what Aphrodite knew. You know what I'm saying? Because when Aphrodite was speaking to them, she was speaking to them in a form of dark consciousness, and then they ran with it. But they were watching the way to checkmate her at a time because Liv, uh, love, Shield's mother, Love, her name was turned into Liv, and then she wanted to steal Aphrodite's acknowledgement and account to be torture an individual to know to say that her love was gonna be endless for an individual, and I didn't want her part of my astrological tree of love, so I didn't unify. I kept her away from the tree before they were in any harmonical frequency because she already tried to dishonor the point of enlightenment of one of the jewels. So I was like, no, 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 no. You'll never be a part of certain things. And when they went to go murder her, I said, nah, just let it. You know, she she asked me, can I live? Just a certain type of way for remorse of the wrong that she did, and then I just put the situation and locked it away at a time because the things I was going through. It was so critical during the times of the Galactic War. I had to make a move. I couldn't do certain things a certain type of way because of certain things that was a certain way that I was watching at the time. And then my other empress and my other empresses had to witness what was really going on. So I had consideration for a situation a certain type of way that was very innocent about the situation and stuff. So you know, then then they looked and viewed at a time what was going on a certain type of way, and then the chick, she tries to take, Live and age Shaylee and Live. They sometimes they try to take different forms in other people's anatomy and making them do oaths or promises to show them certain type of metaphysics and mythology because they be going towards the demonic zodiac, and then they manipulate in people's anatomy because they try to fuck up the intricacies of their sacredcy of the reason of their regardment, and this is why the zodiac calendar of one of the reasons why the zodiac calendar was formed for individuals to have a point of remembrance But because of so much of the physical attribute and the devious, vindictive battle of the physical reality caused the demoralizing through time of individuals' consciousness, and then and I think that certain individuals stay sacred because the reasons of their being was very sacred, and certain individuals, of the way they wanted to conduct their own little situation. I would set it a certain type of way for them, but I wasn't appealed with a certain type of things that they would get me into because it was causing discouragement of the physical reality of the higher consciousness. And I thought it was too dangerous for my empresses in a certain type of way. So, the way they wanted to set it was just perfect for them. So I was like, for their survival and them being my children, I tried to disregard the situation at a certain point for my own for my wife's own habitation because I was already settled in my own emotions. So my wife was something different. She had to relearn. She had to. I looked at the time some of my wives and said, "Well, I guess your education is gonna go a little further at this time because now you're gonna learn why when I say something, it should be this way, and it shouldn't be what these individuals indulge in." But she looked at it as these individuals are the individuals that helped her survive at a time during the Galactical War because of what she had a certain type of way because it was under attack from other individuals that caused it that I was already handling at the same time, even as we were viewing it. So it was like, I had to be very critical the way I was doing certain things because my martial arts skills were so high. And when I'm in space, it's nothing but star being and nothing but men. So you don't want to end up in a broad cockfight, and then you wonder why the Mayans said they seen all type of it was like spaceships were flying to blast at each other, but with real physical men moving in a militant forms that it looked like the highest traumas you ever seen in the physical reality. This is why you have a black space. Situations with the galactical war was so in this color space used to be a different color. It's still a different color, but because of the trauma that happened between other individuals at a time, it caused the depth of the dark black. And the color of the space is really another color, but it caused the depth of the reality of dark black at a time because the physical trauma of other individuals and their intent when it came to the galactical war, just like you viewed on the camera when the guy was smashing the Asian guy, the Caucasian guy was smashing the Asian guy head, but with the concrete brick, and then the Asian guy wasn't wrong, So because he was already just trying to get rid of live uh uh lay no shade a certain way, and they were manipulating of that man's astrological tree in a form and he was already combating the situation because they tried to make somebody take an oath that made them show up on the anatomy of the person a certain type of way that was causing a discrepancy in the higher astrological tree that was going to cause other falling stars that couldn't fall at the time. And then look what ended up happening to him. So he ended up risking his life. And then on top of it, trying to learn forms of martial arts of conduct, how to defend himself, and then the person would just manipulate him just to be brutal with him. So most likely those who set up chicks that set him up to get murdered. So you gotta watch situations like that. It's just like the movie The City Is Mine. You ever seen the bootleg movie The City Is Mine with Vicky and the other? You gotta see that movie. It's about these guys named Nate and another dude, and one was a cop and one was a gangster. You gotta go see the movie to see what I'm speaking about. It's called The City Is Mine. It's a bootleg movie. It's an urban movie though. You gotta really watch it to really know what I'm speaking about. Because that's how it's just like when the dark age. There was dark ages before, and I'm the one that brought back all Caucasian people, or Latin people, or Hispanic people, or Latino people, or Hispanic people, or white people, or Caucasian people, or Asian people, or Oriental people. They almost got murdered. I had to survive and literally bring them back in a physical reality of their anatomy. That's why they call me the conqueror that you read about in Latin. That's what the conqueror is about because the things that I did, in certain forms of Latin, other other forms of the higher how can I say translations is a form of Latin, but a different type of style and form that you wouldn't even expect. So I couldn't even tell people that because it was only meant for certain of my children, and this is the type of information people was going after. And then now what? Because of YouTube, and then I have martial arts movies of myself on YouTube. Physics, you know. Now you hear the girl outside that's making that sound. There's like a girl it's like they paid her to annoy my consciousness from a distance, you know. They're spying on me. He's like a stink bitch sitting somewhere that just finds nothing but interest is to spy on me all day. And then on top of it, it could just be a fucking demonic, a stupid bitch spirit that just can't come next to me because I put protection in certain ways around me. So it's not a part of me no more. So it can't come torment me in my privacy. So it can't come complicate my situation. So it has to stay a distance. And that's all it could do all day. It has its own little fucked up trap or with all little acknowledgement. And then it's just so mad and vindictive. It just came to try to torment me. You see what I'm talking about? Yo, man. Serious situations, bad marriages, divorces on higher levels of higher consciousness. And then you can imagine that, huh? And then I could have put it away for I wouldn't be hearing that because things like that can endanger the natural social economic system of the human condition of even their receptiveness of their consciousness that could cause traumatic events to their consciousness, cause the death of innocent people. And I could have put that situation away, but because of the way I am at the point in time, because other individuals are watching me and all type of things like they scared and they're the ones doing wrong, how can I help innocent people when you have a democracy that's just trying to murder everybody and finish the world? That don't make no sense, right? Exposing the inner origin of individuals, intricacy of their sacredness, it don't make no sense, man. That shit they gotta go. They just want to take advantage of individual physical realities to manipulate to cause the dark ages of dark matter, dark out. That don't make no sense, man. That shit. The world has an atmosphere. Are you crazy? Oh, don't end up don't end up on life support where it's just a few white anatomy individuals in all social economic systems and then you have people living on the ground attacking people all day in groups and majorities trying to travel, trying to fund, trying to get the I own Haiti, so they try to take the vegetation. Then they found out I own America, they went after the finances. So you don't want people trying to learn how to finance themselves, just trying to make dealerships or other individuals with deals just to be able to travel to see the type of economics that they got in their system that just wants world dominance and just cause a literal rape and pillage all over the world. And then they hold little groups of majority of white anatomy a certain type of way as a hostage just to learn their sacredcy because of some empresses that just want to cause the death of everybody in physical reality because they can't have my love in the paradigm of time because you're like a bad divorce of a bad marriage. Be very careful. I'm telling you literal facts of the literal. Oh, be careful, man. You wouldn't believe it. I'm already warning you ahead of time and I made the atmosphere. Think about what I'm saying, man. I was kind of touched by that that words a certain type of way. But you gotta really think about my mentality, the way how do you think I feel, and what I view certain things. And I'm not gonna say a discouragement, but you gotta know the reality of the things that's going on because I'm the real adult of the physical reality. So I can't look at me to have me look or be manipulated like some child. I gotta be real conscious about what's going on in the physical reality. He looked at it like chicken and shit at the end. Yo! What? And I made music in back in the days. Yo, listen, let me tell you something. Another person went in and believed it. That's how I really had to move with the situation. There's individuals needed that, and they needed to come for me because their receptiveness I made all existed, so the receptiveness has to come from me, right? It's just like being in the military. You see why they have certain forms of a harmonical vibration, like movie 300. That's it. Other men was looking at me in the back of the days like it was my fault for certain things, and I'm looking at other men like how could they even look at me a certain time? But because of what they wanted to do at a certain time, and because they think I was gonna survive. So another person think about the survival. I'm like, you know, another person shouldn't even influence a certain type of situation when it came to me because what I'm emotionally already going through and the reasons why I'm doing everything in the physical reality is because the prevention of the things I'm just trying to educate people. So another person had to really think about, that's about it, man. Can't say no more. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my night. Love one, man. Ralph and GR. See the date and time 10/9/2018.